Murdoch's Wall Street Journal rips Texas Governor Abbott. Is there a problem at our southern border? Even a mess? Yes. It's a multinational legal and humanitarian problem that over and over has reached crisis levels. To say it's complicated is like saying it takes special talent to be a pro athlete or opera singer. For decades people have tried in good faith to address both the problem at the southern border itself, and even the root of the problem, the reasons why so many make the arduous journey to try to get into the U.S. And then there are those who have not worked in good faith to address the problem. People who want it to continue, and even try to make it worse so they can exploit it for political gain. As you know, the Senate has been working and on a bipartisan basis to deal with the immediate problem, and the WH, while not having much direct involvement, is staying informed and offering its thoughts, which include a willingness to accept the proposal that seems to be close to approval in the Senate. You also know that Trump is furious because the proposed bill is something of a wet dream for conservatives who've wanted a tougher border policy. It would take multiple articles to address the various issues and also direct aspects of what's reported to be in the legislation. However, what matters is Trump openly says he wants things to be bad, to not be fixed, so he can use it as a campaign weapon, and some senators have joined colleagues over in the House saying what Trump wants, Trump gets. That, my friends, is what I meant when I talked about bad faith. They take a problem, in this case a decades-long one, make it worse and then blame the other side in the hopes voters will be fooled and they can win an election. So far I've been talking about the action in Washington, D.C., but plenty of it is on border states, including Texas, which due to its size has, by far, the longest stretch of border with Mexico. Second only to California, lest we forget. Another border state, in population Texas, has a large impact on national politics. And the GOP has all the statewide offices locked up under its control. Government Greg Abbott has turned into an attention-seeking tyrant, and wants to make the border problem worse as much as any of the asshats on Capitol Hill. Worse, he's provoking what he wants to be a constitutional crisis. Is he trying to set himself up for a 2028 run for the WH? I'm really starting to wonder. So I believe is Rupert, and son Lachlan too, Murdoch, and it seems they aren't at all keen on that idea. This Newsweek article, the WSJ editorial board has written a rather scathing takedown of Abbott and his antics. Again, the WSJ editorial board is a key part of Rupert Murdoch's News Corp. It's commonly considered a major media source advocating for conservative political views. While criticizing the federal government for alleged failures in border security, the Friday piece from the board focused most of its criticism on Abbott's decisions in the standoff, warning that he will lose in the event that his maneuvers provoke a constitutional crisis. From the linked Newsweek article, if Texas Governor Greg Abbott is a constitutionalist, he will carefully consider his next move, the board wrote. His state's jostling with the U.S. government on the Rio Grande and Eagle Pass isn't yet a constitutional crisis, but it could become one. Although Washington is failing to secure the border, it remains supreme in our federalist system. Newsweek goes on to say the WSJ, the link to the WJS editorial is behind a paywall, talks about Abbott invoking a clause in the U.S. Constitution that allows Texas the right to self-defense in the event of an invasion, which is how he and many other conservatives have characterized the recent surges in migrant crossings. My first thought, before today when I first hears about this, was, invasion? I don't think that word means what you think it means, Abbott. Anyway, the WSJ editorial criticizes this as an inadvisable stretch, and also that congressional approval is needed to begin acting on the clause. The first question is whether migration, however anarchic, is an invasion. Do conservatives really want to start stretching constitutional terms? Progressives will do that better, the piece argued. And what power is Texas even trying to unlock? If migrants who have walked 1,000 miles qualify as an invading army, does Mr. Abbott intend to engage in war on them? The WSJ editorial also expresses concerns, well duh. Things might turn violent. But it isn't hard to imagine a more direct conflict emerging if Texas continues trying to box out the Border Patrol in Eagle Pass. Would Mr. Abbott or other officials defy a resulting court order and risk contempt? Would Mr. Biden invoke the Insurrection Act to have the military intervene? Gee, ya think? Well, besides the Murdochs signaling to Abbott that as far as they are concerned he's not presidential material, they are telling him to back the hell down. As a border state governor, those in D.C. should take his concerns into account, and if he has constructive suggestions to offer, they will be taken seriously. But the bottom line is that immigration and control of our borders is a federal matter, and states are there to help as needed the federal government if the feds feel they can be of some type of assistance. Not the other way around. SCOTUS has already just backed, albeit narrowly, the federal government on this, and it's likely that will continue. The Wall Street Journal always had a conservative lean, but got more so once Murdoch acquired it. The op-eds from the editorial board are Murdoch and his empire, without which conservatives would be screwed. Abbott is bluntly being told to stand down. Will he listen?